Hi friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Katelyn and I like to film eyeshadow palette ranking and review videos as well as the occasional other beauty content. I used to say content, but I feel like it's mostly beauty content. Anyways, sprinkled in. So if you like indie makeup, if you like eyeshadow palettes, if you like me, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because I post 2 videos every single week. And for those of you that are not new here, my business is happy that you are seeing it again. And yeah, so I have a funny story on this video. I have been so tired this week that I have slept in and not done makeup and then like logged into work like a little bit later, so then I didn't log off really. So anyways, I made it so that I never had time to film a get ready with me while still getting this video up in a timely fashion to meet my 2 videos a week requirement that I have placed on myself. So I like debated what I wanted to do with this, and I just decided I'm going to discuss all of my favorite things, like not just beauty products, but like TV shows, movies, podcasts, music, random stuff I bought. I'm gonna discuss all of my 2023 favorites in this video. It just won't be a get ready with me style, and you can let me hear about how much that makes you angry in the comments down below. I give you full permission. I honestly, I give you my full permission, but I just want to say, if you've never filmed content before, just know that get ready with me's, at least for me, I can only speak from my own personal experience, they take the longest to film, they take the longest to edit, and yeah, that I just didn't have the time for that this week. But I have started to, when I have like multiple video options, I'm putting a poll up on the community tab on my page. So I think if you're subscribed, you should still see that in your feed. So if you're not subscribed and you want to like have a voice in what sort of content I put out, definitely subscribe so that you can do that. But anyways, all of that being said, let's discuss all of my 2023 favorites. If this were a get ready with me, I would be talking through my favorites as I use the products. Now, some of these are going to be favorites that like launched this year. Some of them are favorites that did not launch this year that I discovered this year, or favorites that I discovered many years ago, but it's still my favorite product. So we'll just talk through everything. So first things first, I do want to chat a little bit like there's one skincare thing that like I just felt like was a game changer for me this year, and that was the Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence from COSRX. I use this thing every single day. Every single day. I love it. I love the way it feels on my skin. It just feels so hydrating. Big fan of it. I have obviously a breakout right now, but with my pregnancy, I have found that my skin is really sensitive, and this does not typically break me out. This week we have a visitor, but you know, it is what it is. But for the most part, I had really, like when I first got pregnant, my skin was like awful. It was the worst. Like I think it might have been worse than when I was in high school. Like it was the worst it's ever been. Anyway, so I switched to like just these 2 products basically on a daily basis. And so I'm using the Cetaphil Daily Oil-Free Facial Moisturizer that has SPF. Honestly, I don't know that it's worth it to pay for a more expensive SPF. Like it does its job, so I'm fine. Nail essence in particular, delightful, so good. So that would be where we would start. And then I actually have an empty. I was using this every day. This was so I would do my skincare and then I would put this on while I was doing the rest of my makeup just to enjoy the feel of it. I don't know. But this is the Auric Plus Ritual Ceramide Lip Treatment in the shade Bare. And they have other colors, and I kind of want to place an order for those, or maybe I'll put them on a list of like things I want. I'm trying to be more mindful of my purchases, so I might just start creating like a wish list, and then when I find that I have some like extra money month over month, I'm gonna restock on this. I have so many Glam Light lip masks that I really don't need to buy a lip mask anytime soon. And I do like the Glam Light ones too, particularly the Scooby-Doo one. It tastes delicious. Not that you're supposed to eat it, but it does taste delicious. The Ghostface one's nice. It's black cherry. I prefer the Scooby-Doo one, but the Ghostface one is also nice. But anyways, long story short, I have plenty of lip stuff that it's not like an absolute need, but I really liked this one, and I really liked the shade Bear. I thought it was a really good color for me. So that is that. So that's kind of how I started my makeup. And then the favorite primer is going to be the Milk Hydro Grip. This is, if you've been around, you know, I've talked about this before. I haven't done like a full face video or talked about my base makeup in a while, but I have loved Milk Hydro Grip. I want to say it's going on like 4 years now. Like, it's like a holy grail product to me. I love that thing. I have tried other primers. I think I tried, what primer? Did I try new primers this year? I tried a few new primers last year and didn't love them, but this year I want to say that I kind of just stuck with that one. Like, I just was like, I don't remember any primers that like jumped out. I was using the Cali Ray blurring primer for a while. I didn't hate that one. But I feel like I got that last year. Anyways, there we go. Milk Hydro Grip, regardless, is my #1 primer. Okay, a new product that I tried this year, I don't know when it launched, but that has worked its way consistently into my everyday routine, is the Light Reflecting Eye Brightener from NARS. The shade I use is Night Swan. This is what it looks like. Before I go in with concealer, I put this underneath my eyes. I just use my fingers to apply it and blend it out, but I put it underneath my eyes, and then I go over my concealer with it, and like, there is zero darkness bags, nothing happening underneath my eyes when I do that. It is so good. I love it so much. It is a tad bit dark for me, but when I go over the top of it with concealer, it's fine. If I'm tan, like, it doesn't matter if I do my concealer or this first, because it's a fine under eye color, but for how pale I am, I do need to go over it with concealer. So yeah, speaking of concealer, my favorite concealer is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I used the shade N1, and it's so funny. I think I posted it on TikTok, but I was like, oh, I bought a new one of these so that I could have the lightest shade, because the shade that I have been using is slightly too dark for me, and I want a shade that's perfect. N1 is the lightest shade, and that's the shade I had before as well. So I don't know. It's not that it's too dark, it's just not... like, it's probably the perfect shade to like work for my face and like match, but it's not like brightening my under eyes. So you know how they're like, a lot of people want to use a concealer that's maybe like a shade to 2 shades lighter so that they're getting a really bright under eye. Like, that's not happening with this, but the consistency and the formula on this is so nice and creamy that, like, whatever, I don't care. I don't even want to use another concealer. I really like it. So I do use 2 different powders though under my eye to kind of help with that brightening effect. So first up, I use the Pat McGrath Labs Light. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Light. You'll see that I'm not lying to you. I use this all the time. So I use a little powder puff that I got off of Amazon and just like tap that under to blur, and it blurs. Like, this is blurring for sure. Once I do all of my base makeup, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit, I'm not going step by step, but once I do all of my base makeup, I like to take the tiniest bit of this Pink Evolution powder from Danessa Myricks, and I get that on that same powder puff, and I just put it like right here, and it gives like that brightening in the inner corner. Did I do that for this look? No, I didn't. So don't look at my eyes right now, but I have been doing that, and I think it's really nice. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the under eyes. My other thing that I like to do, so typically I do the NARS product, the Natasha Denona concealer, and then, so what I like to do is I leave the Natasha Denona concealer, like I apply it, but I don't blend it in. I just like kind of like put it on my face, like just like use the wand to get it onto my face. and I leave that to like warm up to my skin for a little bit. And while I'm doing that, I use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand in the shade Fair Medium, and I apply my contour, blend out my contour, and then come back and blend in my concealer, and it works real nicely. Like, it looks, I mean, not to toot my own horn, if you're looking at my face right now, it's gone through it today. I applied this makeup 13 hours ago, and I then took my eye makeup off, did new eye makeup, and only reapplied some of the things. So just know just know that this isn't perfect, okay? But anyways, so then the other thing I like to do before I go in with foundation is I take the Hollywood Flawless filter. I have the shade Fair 1, and I just put that on my like cheekbones as a highlight, and then I blend that in, and then I go over everything, not everything, because I actually don't bring my foundation to where the concealer is. I just kind of leave it to like here down. Like I cover basically the contour and the highlight with my foundation. And I have been using the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint in the shade 1. This is my favorite everyday foundation ever. I am going to ask all of you, I do need a recommendation for a foundation to try out and use for my maternity photo shoot that's coming up quick now. I need to get it figured out, but I don't want to spend like a ton of money on a foundation, because like I'm gonna keep using this. Like, I love this for every day. Like, it's the perfect amount of coverage for me. It's like light to medium coverage, but I want something a little bit more, it doesn't have to be full coverage, but like more medium to full on the coverage range, and not matte, but not super dewy, because like I have kind of oily skin, so if it's super dewy, that I just look greasy. So I want something not matte but not super dewy, that is medium to full coverage, that would look good for pictures. And I'm taking my pictures outside. So anyways, those are, let me know let me know your foundation recommendations. But anyways, I absolutely adore this foundation. My favorite brush to use for foundation, by the way, is the IT Cosmetics brush. It's the one they release every year, but I think mine's from last year. I don't think I bought the new one from this year, but their Love is the foundation brush. This is like my favorite foundation brush ever. It's like slightly domed, but also still kind of flat. It is perfect for applying this foundation. They work together so nicely. But yeah, did we cover the whole base? I feel like we did. Oh, as far as powder goes, I do like the Kosas Cloud Set powder in Airy. I use that if I get a little bit crazy with like my bronzer and my blush. I'll use that to kind of diffuse the edges to create like a softer blend. I don't put it in the middle of my face, because typically on my face I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked. I have never bought one of these palettes before. This was my first time ever trying this product from Hourglass. I've never used it in the past, so if you're somebody who's like, oh, I hated these because it's exactly like the ones in the past years, I would probably agree with you if I had used the past years. But I could not resist this gorgeous jellyfish packaging. It was so pretty. It spoke to my soul, so I was like, okay, cool, well, I guess I'm buying that. So anyways, what I will say is I tend to use the Kosas powder. If I'm using this palette for my face, I will use these like finishing powders to kind of like highlight the center, so it's really just that Kosas powder is like just to here, but I like these to kind of give an extra glow. But yeah, I like this entire palette. The bronzer's nice, the blush is nice. Of the two blushes, this one's my favorite. The highlighter is beautiful. Like, everything about this palette is like so nice. This has for sure entered Holy Grail territory. And like, I've used this, I think this launched in like the beginning of September. I've used this almost every day, like in some capacity. If I'm not using everything, I'm at least using a highlighter, a blush, or a bronzer. Like, I'm using it in some sort of way, shape, or form. But typically I'm using the entire thing almost every day. But I do have like other cheek products that I do try to use. But yeah, that is far and away my favorite. It's so good. I'm trying to think of if there's any like the Hourglass really is like the end all be all. I did like the Glamlight Ghost Face highlighter. I do like these. They're very wet looking. You know what? We're going to swatch these because why not? I feel like they're wet looking without being like super textured, especially like this one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Can you even see anything? But anyways, I feel like they give a very much the wet effect on the face without being super textured, which I like. So yeah, I was a big fan of this little highlighter duo. That is the that on that. So I think that's all of my like face products. Oh, can't forget my holy grail, end all be all of all time, all-nighter, Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. No setting spray has ever come close to touching how much I love this setting spray. I tried the Rare Beauty one. I tried a BellaBeauteBar one. I'm trying to think of who else, what other. I think it's really just those two. I tried those two like setting sprays. Oh, I've tried the Milk Hydro Grip one. Yeah, anyways, nothing works like this one does. So I feel some type of way about this setting spray. I will always buy it. If I am the sole person keeping Urban Decay in business because I keep buying that setting spray, then that's fine with me. So I love that setting spray. So anyways, that's the gist. So I am going to talk about brow products that I don't actually have in my possession, but my favorite brow products of the year were, or for most of the year, were the Melt Cosmetics Perfectionist Brow Pencil and Pen. I love those. I love those two products. I don't live close to a Sephora, and I never like think to like purchase brow products far enough in advance to like buy them before I absolutely need them. I bought them from Melt's site and then used them up, and then I repurchased them off of Sephora's site when I had like a gift card or something around my birthday, and then anyways used those up, and then I want to say I ordered them again. Like anytime I order anything from Melt, I buy those at the same time because I'm like, I'm already ordering something from Melt, might as well get these too. I didn't this last time because I'm trying to be more money conscious, but anyways, I am making my way through. I'm using the Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit and the Brow Tint Pen Lift and Snatch from NYX. Both of these are good. These are fine. They work for me every day. I just prefer the Melt one. I want to say it's because the like brush tip is slightly different on the Melt one. Color is pretty much the same for this. And then for the pencil, it's a slightly different tip on the pencil. It's like such a minute difference that for me, it's not worth it to make the trek to a Sephora that's not that close to me. I mean, it's like 20 minutes away, so it's not that far from me either. But I just don't want to do that just for that and then end up spending $400 because I walked into Sephora, you know? So I just stick to these two because I can pick them up at Ulta. So I don't know why I just threw them so aggressively. But those are the brow products. My favorite brow product though that I cannot live without, and I am so glad that they are in Ulta because getting this was a hassle, but is the Half Magic Grippy Brow Sculpting Gel. This is good. This is good, y'all. This is what the brush looks like. If you can even see it. Let me see. I don't know what we're zooming in on. But anyways, this is so good. And when Half Magic, you could only get it from their site. It was kind of like, it was similar. I think I ordered something and then I like ran out of this. So I was just using whatever other brow gel, and then Half Magic launched something else. So I was like, I'm going to buy a brow gel. I'm never somebody that buys like multiple duplicates. I always just get like one thing at a time, but maybe I should reconsider that. Anyways, for these products that I love. But then Half Magic was coming to Ulta, like what was that, a few months ago? And I was like, yes. So I need this. So yeah, I'm obsessed with the fact that it's now at Ulta. That is perfect because that is the only brow gel that works for me. Again, don't look, actually, that brow gel looks not bad. My brows don't look terrible for the fact that I put the brow gel on and have since redone my eye makeup and then put a wig on. I like to put it on like the cap and then the wig and like over my face. So not that I like, you get what I'm saying though. Like I've messed around with my brows all day. So eye primer, like my eyeshadow base. I mean, you guys know this one. I talk about it every time I do any sort of eye look. I used the Veil Eye Primer from Hourglass. I don't know. Like, I liked this one. I liked the About Face one. They're kind of interchangeable to me. The About Face one is a lot cheaper, but I had one About Face one that I was obsessed with, and then another About Face one that was creasing a lot, but then it started to like dry out a little bit, and then it was no longer creasing, so then I liked it more. So, and then the Smashbox primer is, they're all kind of the same. So I don't know that this is like, of the three, this one is the most consistent performance-wise for me. Whereas, like I said, depending on the tube of the About Face one, I had like a great time or I had an okay time. But yeah, I wanted to shout out the About Face one because that was my favorite for a decent chunk of the year. For eyeshadow, I'm not going to talk about my favorite eyeshadow palette because we're going to do an eyeshadow palette ranking. But if you're curious about what is on my eyes today, you'll see this look soon, but this is the first look I did with the Machina palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I'm not including this because it's a favorite. I've literally only used it the one time, but I do really like how this look turned out. But anyways, I just wanted to say that before I got comments saying, which palette are you using? My favorite eye products, I think this might be where we do some swatches. Timmerie Cosmetics. I love Timmerie. She is amazing. I love her products. So I always buy the sample size of her products, which is this little size jar. It's like 10 bucks a pop, which, I mean, if you're looking at it and going like, that's like not a lot of product, fair, but it's also like handmade. And so to me, I hate like the idea, like if I have the opportunity to buy something that's like a slightly smaller size versus the bigger size and it's half the price, I'm gonna do it because I'm definitely not gonna use all of it. Although there's one shade that I feel like I might actually use it all up and I'll buy in the bigger size once I do. I'll show you guys that one in a sec. But anyways, so I always go for the sample ones. I love that she does the samples. I love testing them out. And then if I have a favorite going, okay, once I use that up, I'm gonna buy the bigger size of that one because I know I love it. But anyways, these loose pigments from her. I have been obsessed with adding these into my looks. I think you guys have probably seen me do it a few times at least. I don't know that I always do it on YouTube because I try not to, because I've mentioned it before. I don't want to like pull in things that people can't use, but I got quite a few comments on my last video that I posted where people were saying like, I'm fine if you want to use other stuff because it reminds me to use other stuff, you know, to make the look my own. So let me know if you agree with that sentiment or if it bugs you if other people use other stuff, but that seemed to be the general consensus on my last video. So I'm not going to like sweat adding extra stuff to a look anymore if that's how we feel. So anywho, I'm going to swatch some of these. I'm going to tell you how I use them too, just in case you wanted to grab these because they're not like inherently user friendly. So we have the Carla Cosmetics Fix Potion. This is my favorite way to utilize these, so I definitely do that. Let me show you. I'm not going to swatch this particular shade because it's one of my favorites and I'm not going to waste it on a swatch, but this is the shade Vibes. This is in her finish that's called the Color Wash Extreme. I'll show you a different Color Wash Extreme, but yeah, like we're getting low. I've used this one quite a few times and it's we're almost done. So it is gorgeous. So I will swatch one of the other Color Wash Extremes. This is the shade Skelly. I might have gone Skelly in the full size. I'm not sure. It looks a little bit bigger, but okay, so I'm gonna I just like to grab like the tiniest bit of the Carla Cosmetics Fix Potion on my brush, and then I make sure that I have like just the tiniest amount of the, you know, loose pigment in the cap, and then I grab it on the brush like where the Fix Potion is so that it's like all together. So here we go. So we have it, and you kind of have to work out like spreading the pigment. So, you know, you have to like sort of tap it and swipe it just to get it to like smooth out. I typically use these in the inner corner, so this big swatch is gonna apply a little bit different. If you're doing like a big area, you're probably better off just putting the Carla Cosmetics Fix Potion down and then tapping this on top, but let's see. So you're gonna see, I think you're gonna see pink, but I see green, and I want it to show the flip. Do we have, are we flipping this way? Ah, there you go. There we go. So it's pink, and it's a pink-green duochrome. it's stunning. But anyways, so the Color Wash Extreme is a little bit of a more, what word do I want to say? It's like a smoother finish, but like has an insane shine to it, depending on the shade. Vibes isn't like super shiny. It's almost like a satin finish, but it's like, it is so gorgeous. I really love that one. But anyways, it just gives like a nice subtle shine or sheen to the eye that I think is really pretty. So that is the Color Wash Extremes. I will say, I think the Color Wash Extreme finish became my favorite this year, but I feel like she's got some other ones that I think some of y'all are going to like, so I want to mention it. I don't have an affiliate code or anything with this brand. I'm just hyping them up because I really do like their products. So we're going to take the Extreme Shards. This is in Hollow 19. So these are basically like, let me see if I can hold this up without spilling this everywhere. Eep. These are basically like flakies. Like they're like chunks of pigment. So it's almost like glitter without it actually being glitter. I think they're like chunks of like, I don't know, mica talc. I've never looked at the ingredients, so I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I do the same thing with these. I grab the Carla Cosmetics Fix Potion on. I just like to grab, so these are going to be chunkier and you're not going to get as opaque of a application, but they add just a fun texture to the lid. Kind of like the Danessa Myricks like Chrome Flakes, where like you're getting color and pigment, but there's also going to be some texture to it. But anyways, this is Hollow 19 again. You can kind of see like we've got some chunkiness, but super pretty. And then let me see if I can get the shift on this one too. Just super freaking shifty and gorgeous. So anyways, that's Hollow 19. I've said that like 4 times. So what shade is it? Okay, so that was that. Last up, I should say, of the 3 finishes we're going to talk about today are the Disco Flakes. And these are like, basically the Color Wash Extreme is like shiny, shifty, but like minimal texture. Hollow 19, you're getting texture, but you can kind of like smooth tap them out, just get the shiftiness. They are very gorgeous, and they add like, it's like a party on your eyelid. It's like a soiree on your eyelid. An actual like party, like hardcore party is going to be the Disco Flakes. Like these go hard. The Disco Flakes, I love them and I really do like them, but they are messy, like for sure. So if you're somebody that's going to be bothered by having like random little bits of like what feels like tiny micro confetti, don't get these. You won't like them. You will not have a good time. Okay, so I'm picking up the Disco Flake. I actually grabbed like kind of a lot. So whoops. So I feel like you can kind of see like that is much more textured. You're just getting the flakes. It's like truly performing like a glitter. And I think the best way to describe it is like you're getting straight up confetti on your lid. That's why I call it a party, because it feels like a party. Yeah, so anyways, those I absolutely adore. I buy like at least a couple of shades every time she launches new shades, especially in the Color Wash Extreme. Oh my god, there's confetti going everywhere. Okay. I'm covered in glitter now, but the, oops, oh my gosh. I try to buy like at least every time because I just love it, and I always find a new like favorite. She has some more neutral ones too. Anyways, overall, it's so fun. I adore it. Oh, the other thing I want to mention as a favorite as far as like special eye topperies things go is I kind of like the glitter eye gels from Melt. So I know these are the 2 new ones from the Bailey Sarian collection. This is Boom Slang and Wisteria. You know, why not just put more glitter everywhere, right? We're having a good time. I'm just gonna use my finger for this one, although that feels like a mistake. So I think overall this year, I've really found like fun with using these like special toppers in addition to like eyeshadows. Not like eyeshadows, to eyeshadows. I just found that it's a fun way to make a look more fun or amp it up or just make it slightly more different than if you just use the palette. Okay, this one didn't swatch well, so I swear this looks prettier on the lid. But anyways, that's Boom Slang, that's Wisteria. They're just super fun ways to add glitter that I'm fairly certain are eye safe. So yeah, cool. There we go. The Made by Mitchell color cases, I bought all 4 because I love them so much. I love pulling these out, using them as colored bases for different eye looks. I have also used it as a, like, to create like a brighter cheek. I think I've only done that once, maybe twice with this pink shade, because I've used that pink shade a little bit. But ultimately, using it as a colored base for different eye looks or to add like a brightness to an eye look, like I did with the Melt Bailey Sarian collab, I brought this one in. I love it. So that's the Brights one. That is far and away my favorite, but I also grabbed the like neutral one. You'll see I've only used the black for black eyeliner, so I don't know what I was thinking with purchasing that one, but I'm gonna try and use it more. I think this would be good if I wanted like a white or a neutral eye base. Like, I could use it for the same thing. I just haven't done it yet. I will say the neutral ones I just bought within the last month, so that's probably partially why they haven't seen a ton of use. But anyways, I also got this one, which is like the different shades of gray. This is all I used to do my husband's, like he had skeleton makeup for Halloween, so I used it for that and it worked pretty well. Although we did have a little bit of a hard time getting it off, but that's okay. And then lastly, here's the other one. This one's really fun to use as colorful bases. This is a more pastel one. But yeah, I am a fan of all 4 of these, and if he launches more, I'll probably consider purchasing them just because I really like them. Although the packaging is all messed up on the gray one, but it's okay. Moving on from, oh, I didn't talk about my favorite lip product. Hold on. The lip color butters from About Face Beauty are by far my favorite lip product this year. I have it's one of the only reels I have. It's like the second most recent reel, I think, over on my Instagram, but I did a like lip try on with all of these, so if you want to see that, go check that out there. But I love these. I love this formula. I've seen people say that it's similar to the Tarte Maracuja, and then I think NYX is coming out with something that looks to be similar. I've never tried it, but people seem to like those. These at price point wise are like work for me from like a price standpoint, and I love them. I think they're amazing. I hate having dry lips, so even though I have to reapply those, like, I do not care. I love them. I think they're great, so I'm a big fan. Okay, so I think we've chatted through all of the makeup. Oh, lashes. Oh my god, I didn't mention my favorite lash brand. It is Miss, I want to say the owner's name is Heather, but it's the MUA lash, and these are the style Bella. I use these. I use the style Onyx. I use the style Lala. I use the style Penelope. I use the style, like, almost all the styles on almost a daily basis. I'm not, of course, wearing the MUA lash today, but I wear their lashes almost all the time. I had like one of every lash, and I used those until they died, and then it's just within the last like 2 months, I think, I replenished and got like my absolute favorite ones. And I think I got 2 of Lala and 2 of, is it Onyx? I think I got 2 of those 2 because that's like my favorite style. Those are my 2 favorite styles. So anyways, absolutely love those lashes. And then my favorite mascara from a lash standpoint is the Benefit Fan Fest. I got sent this by Benefit and was like so surprised that I loved this as much as I did. But this is my new Holy Grail mascara. I am set on that. I think that's it for makeup, you guys. I think we've hit all the makeup things. I feel like we've been filming for like an hour. So we're gonna try and run through some other stuff as quickly as possible. If there's anything that I can like put pictures up, I will. I might cover up my face a little bit, but I'll put pictures up so that you're not just staring at me. Because I know, like, in theory, I should have been doing my makeup while we talked about this. But my favorite wig from this year, I don't have a favorite new wig, but I did really like Cozy Zone wigs this year. And mainly because they are synthetic wigs. A lot of them are hard fronts. But if you get any of theirs that have the, like, curtain bangs, their curtain bangs curtain very easily, and then they have great colors, and they're a super affordable price, so, and they ship so fast. Like, you think like, oh, I'm ordering these from like China, it's gonna take forever. No, they ship so quickly. Like, and I don't know where they're based out of, but it ships so much faster. I really thought, I don't know, I was expecting it to take a while, but I really like them. I think they're awesome. And I do have an affiliate link with them. I think it's affiliated. I'm not sure. I have a link with them. I don't know. I also think I have a code. I'll put the information down below. I honestly can't remember. I collaborated with them on TikTok like a while ago, and I don't recall what happened with that. But anyways, I do really like their wigs, and I'm not just saying that because I do have an affiliate code. I just feel like if you want curtain bangs, the curtain bangs on their wigs, I have never had issues with. I have like 3 that have curtain bangs, all of them curtain. I think this wig from INH, the Harper wig from INH is supposed to curtain bang, and I can't get any of the INH wigs to curtain bang properly. So this one I just went for like a little side swept moment because I didn't think it looked bad, but now I think I just messed it up. Yeah. Favorite show of the year. I actually didn't watch like a ton of TV this year. I went on this like rampage because I was so sick of paying for all the different streaming apps that I deleted everything and was like, I'm just going to keep a list of what I want to watch on each app, and then I'm going to pay for each app one at a time and work through the list and then shut it down and then move on. Because like I don't need to watch everything just because everybody else, except for Bridgerton. And I knew that. So like I canceled Netflix first and I was like, Bridgerton's coming out in December and I'm signing up for Netflix until Bridgerton is out so I can watch it right away because I love Bridgerton. On that note, Queen Charlotte was probably my favorite new show that I watched this year because I love Bridgerton. I think it's amazing. And I also really liked Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Lower Decks, but those are not like their first season, so I feel like Queen Charlotte wins because it was its first season, but it was not the first season of Bridgerton. But anyways, and then, what shocked me, I was shooketh to my core, season 4 of the show You. I did not see that twist coming. I didn't see it. I've read the books. Obviously the show is now ahead of the books, but I had read the books. So I felt like I was very much knowing what was happening in this show. And even though the last season went a different route than the books did, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, yeah, did she come out with a newer book? Maybe I haven't read the most recent. I definitely read the first 2 books before the show started. I don't remember. Anyways, all great shows. Favorite podcasts. I'm going to be a basic girl right now and say that the New Heights podcast is my new favorite. And I do like football. I'm actually a huge football fan. I just didn't listen to New Heights because it's with 2 people that are not on my football team. So I was like, what do I care? But it's actually very entertaining. The Kelseys are hilarious, and Kylie Kelsey is my new favorite person. I love her. I watched the Kelsey documentary. I've fully immersed myself into Kelsey lore and culture because of the whole Taylor Swift thing, but that's okay. Anyways, Crime Junkie, as always, has been and will probably always be my favorite podcast, but New Heights and Crime Junkie are the 2 podcasts where I will immediately listen to the new episode as soon as it drops. I'm stopping what I'm doing unless I'm working. But if I'm not working, I'm making sure I'm watching those or listening to them. I watch New Heights on YouTube. I listen to Crime Junkie. Anyways, I was going to go through movies, but I didn't really see a ton of movies this year. And the movies I saw, I was I like them, but I don't know that anything blew me away. I did really like the Barbie movie. But yeah, I don't know. Dungeons and Dragons I actually thought was fun, and I've never played that game, but I thought that was a really fun movie. I love Chris Pine and Regé-Jean Page, so, that was pretty much a done deal for me. But I would watch both the Barbie and the Dungeons and Dragons movie again, multiple times. I liked them enough that I would watch them a couple of times. Oh, you know what? No. My husband and I watched Air with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. That was good. And I was surprised because I usually never like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck movies. I don't know what it is. Something about them I don't like. I liked Gone Girl, but that's it. Anyways, so I did like that movie. Okay. Favorite music. Okay. I'm going to be basic again. And I feel like I would consider myself not a Swiftie, but as I continue to talk and share my favorites, I feel like maybe I am a closeted Swiftie and I should just come out and admit that. But not that it's bad to be a Swiftie. I just feel like I sit here and I'm like, yeah, I think she's okay. I like her music. And then I'm sitting over here being like, She was my most played artist on Spotify. Whatever. So Taylor Swift's 1989, Taylor's version, was my favorite album because 1989 was my favorite Taylor Swift album before, and now we have Taylor's version, and I love it. So I've continued to listen to that. I will say that's my favorite like overall album. My favorite song is Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat. I love that song, and I actually like that album. There's some songs on there that I don't love, so that's why I put 1989 ahead of it, but Taylor Swift and Doja were my number 1 and number 2 listen to artists, because that's like all I listen to throughout the year. So there you go. Favorite books. Okay, listen, let's talk about books, because I read a lot. I've read 71 books this year. I can't remember off the top of my head. 70 to 72. It's in that range. Because my goal is 75, and I feel like I actually have a chance of hitting 75 by the end of the year. Anywho, I love to read. I'm obsessed with reading. Oftentimes, if you see me not put up 2 videos in a week, it's because I probably decided to read a few books instead of filming and editing. That happens frequently, actually. But anyways, so my favorite books, I'm going to go in categories because I feel like depending on what you like, I want to give good recommendations. Most of these are popular, so you've probably already read them. But if you haven't and you're wanting to get into reading, I wanted to share my favorite books with you. So there's like my 2 top books for the year do fall under the fantasy or romantasy category. And that is A Shadow in the Ember, which did not come out this year, but I read it this year, and Fourth Wing. You guys. Fourth Wing has taken over the world, so I'm sure most of you have read Fourth Wing. If you have not read A Shadow in the Ember, I like the male, of the romance, the, male main character. I like him more than any other male character in any book, and that includes Xaden from Fourth Wing. Xaden and him are pretty close, but I like him better. I do. And I read all of the books that came out in A Shadow in the Ember so far. I've read them all this year. A Shadow in the Ember is the prequel to the From Blood and Ash series. And Castile from Blood and Ash used to be my favorite book boyfriend. But as time has gone on, those books have gotten boring, and I just don't care that much anymore. And it's not anything to do with him. I don't know. I don't want to get into all of that, but I just don't love those as much. A Shadow in the Ember is a prequel to those. So do some Googling from people who are more well-versed in that. I don't know if you need to read both series. If you don't need to read the new series with From Blood and Ash to read A Shadow in the Ember, just go for A Shadow in the Ember, because I think that series is superior. But anyways, those are my 2 things. Next up, let's talk about my favorite 2. Okay, we're gonna do a favorite contemporary romance and a favorite historical romance for the year, because that's different. So The Dead Romantics made me sob. I cried my eyes out. I was that book I thought was gonna ruin me, but it's The Dead Romantics. I'm gonna put stuff on the screen so you can see it, but it's The Dead Romantics by, I want to say it's Ashley Poston. Anyways, that book was so good. It was so good. It was a little cheesy, but what romance isn't? But I loved it. And then my favorite historical romance is Never Fall for Your Fiancé. I want to say Virginia. I have the other one in the series. Never Fall for Your Fiancé by Virginia Heath. Hilarious. If you like Bridgerton, the books. If you like the Bridgerton show, I don't know if you'll like the historical romance books as much as you like the Bridgerton show. But anyways, if you like the Bridgerton books, I think Virginia Heath is so freaking funny. Never Fall for Your Fiancé is hilarious. The gist of it is that this guy basically told his parents that he and they're off living or doing something in the US. So he's been writing to them about his fiance. And they abruptly announced that they're going to be at his house and excited to meet his fiance in a month's time or whatever. So he's desperate. He meets somebody who happens to have the name that he uses for his fake fiance in the in the letters to his mom. And so he could, offers her money to pretend to be his fiance. But anyways, hilarity ensues. It's so funny. I love those characters. I'm on the third book in the series. There's 3 sisters, and so the first book is one of the sisters, and then second book's the other one. And anyways, I'm on the third sister of the series, and I love all of them. The first one's definitely my favorite. The second one was good. I'm really enjoying the third one so far, but I haven't finished it, so I didn't feel like I could say it was my favorite. But anywho, my favorite thriller was The Blue by Lucy Clark. I listened to it on, I want to say like an audiobook version of it. I was trying to figure out what app it was, but I couldn't, my brain's not finding that information fast enough. But I listened to the audiobook version of it, and I was so freaking stressed at the end of that book, like trying to figure out who died. I was like so invested in one of the like relationships in the book that I'm like, what is happening? So I found that very stressful, and I was really invested in the story of the book. And I could, like, even though I was listening to it on an audiobook, I could like vividly picture like the scenery. And when my husband and I went to Hawaii, it was like right after I had read that book, which they basically are on a yacht the entire time, but I read that book, and so we went to Hawaii, and I would see these like boats in the ocean, and I was like, it's wild. Like, it just like, I don't know how to explain it. If you've read it, maybe you'll get what I'm saying. Anyways, my other pick that's like fiction, that's not romance or fantasy. I don't read as many of those, so I didn't have a ton of options, but it's probably Daisy Jones and the Six. I really enjoyed the book. Like, I was kind of surprised because I didn't think I'd like the format since it's just like interview snippets. But I really liked it. I liked it actually, and this might be controversial. Don't throw anything at me if it is, but I liked it more than the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I did like the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I don't know. I just felt more connected to the characters in Daisy Jones and the Six. We're almost done. This has been long, and I feel like hopefully enjoyable for you. Just hearing my favorite things, but I want to talk about my favorite random things. My Stanley water bottle. I love this thing. I don't know what it is about this like hit of cold water, but it's so good. And my water stays so cold so long in this. I love it. Who was it? I think it was my mom the other day called it my sippy cup. And I was like, maybe that's why we all like these so much. It feels like an adult sippy cup, but I love it. I think it's great. I ordered this checkered blanket from Amazon. I'm going to try and link as many of these things down below as I can. If I can. Like at least the Amazon stuff, so that it's easier for you to find, because who knows the stuff that, like, if you can search the other stuff, I'll at least put titles and stuff. But anyways, this checkered blanket from Amazon, I have 2 of them now because I love them. Like, it's like soft, it's big, it's nice. Like, I just really like it. It's a solid blanket, okay? And I love like a checkerboard print, so big fan of that. And then the way what am I trying to say? Like the way lotion in the scent that's called like the St. Bart's scent. I think I tried the lotion last year and fell in love. I have since accumulated the body wash and the body scrub, the body and scalp scrub. When I tell you that is the most luxurious scent, it is so, oh my gosh, I love it year round. It kind of has more of like maybe a summery feel to it, but I live in Arizona, so it's like Phoenix specifically, so it's like never that cold here, so it's summer year round. But I love that scent. I cannot recommend it enough. I love the lotion. I love the body wash. I've only tried the scrub once. I actually just got it, but the scrub, I told my husband, I was like, it is the most luxurious exfoliating scrub I've ever used. And it's because it has like the exfoliant, but it like also lathers to die for. Like I use the scrub on like my princess shower day recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. So good. Anyways, my favorite perfume is Dolce & Gabbana Light Summer Vibes, or Light Blue Summer Vibes, excuse me. So it's the Summer Vibes version of Light Blue. But anyways, that is my favorite perfume because one reminds me of my honeymoon, the powder packaging. I think it's based on like Italy, but I went to Greece and it gives similar vibes. But anyways, it's really pretty. And then I think it pairs, like if I have the whey lotion on, it pairs really nicely with that. And I just smell, I tell my husband all the time, I smell like a rich coconut, like a wealthy coconut. If that existed, I'm a wealthy coconut at that time, and I love it. If you don't like coconut, then just ignore both. There's not really a coconut scent in the light blue. I don't think. It's just there's a decent coconut scent in the Way St. Bart's, but it's like not cheap coconut. It's like very rich, elegant coconut. It's how I feel about it. But anyways, those were all of my favorites. I know that was a lot. I hope this was an enjoyable experience for you. I'm sure I forgot about stuff that you're all going to be like, what about this? Because you said you loved this. And I probably do. And I just forgot about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm like trying to wipe off my swatches while I'm talking to you. But I think that is it from me for now. It is 9:15. I gotta go to bed. But I'll see you all next time. Bye.